Hey barbecue family, Kenyatta here. Welcome back to my Backyard Smokemaster Barbecue channel. Today I want to get to know my PK360 a little better. So far I've cooked steaks on it, and I've also just done a pizza that I got from Papa Murphy's. But today I want to be a little more adventurous, do a long cook. So today we're going to use a pork butt. That should give me lots of time to really get to know the ins and outs of smoking on the 360. So stay tuned. We're going to get this cook going. Okay guys, so we're gonna get this fire going. So I have my chimney here, and it's filled up probably about maybe 3/4 of the way up to the top. And I'm gonna use lump charcoal. The PK360, you can do either briquette or you can do lump. I usually prefer to go with lump, but sometimes I'll do the briquettes as well. All right, we got the fire going, so I'm gonna let these coals get hot for probably about 20-25 minutes. I'll come back and check on them. And basically, I'm just gonna start off with, like I said, this 3/4 full of lump charcoal. I'm gonna pour the hot coals, into the charcoal basket underneath here. And what's cool about the PK360 is it's set up where you can easily, add more fuel as you need it. So I anticipate that this cook, I got a late start, so this cook is gonna go late into the night. That's okay, because I love doing this kind of stuff, so no problem. I don't mind staying up late, tending to my pit. All right, we'll come back in about 20-25 minutes, see how these coals look, and then take it to the next step. Okay guys, I just realized that I did not have my mic turned on when I poured the charcoal into the PK. So let me try and do a quick recap here. So I poured my chimney of lit coals into the charcoal basket here. I've got some hickory and cherry wood, so I put that on top. Set up my fireboard to monitor the temp inside of the smoker. My goal is to try and keep it between 225 to 250. And I'm set up the PK360 for a traditional 2-zone indirect cooking. So the intake valves at the bottom, directly underneath the coals here, is open. The side that's going to be underneath the meat is closed. Up top, for where the exhaust is, the exhaust over the meat, I'm going to leave that open. And the exhaust on the right side above the coals, I'm going to leave that closed. So let me stop talking. I need to get my pork butt ready. I've injected the pork butt with Butcher Barbecue's pork injection, but I do still need to get my rub on the meat and let it kind of sweat out for about 15 or 20 minutes before I get it on the smoker. All right, guys, so my PK is now up to 250 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this pork butt on. I let it sit for about 20 minutes after I put the rub on. So I slathered mine with the barbecue rub. I'm sorry, I slathered it with mayonnaise, and then I put the barbecue rub on. Let me get this closed up. Let it sit for about 20 minutes while the cooker came up to temperature. And everything's gone pretty much the way I expected. I did add a couple more chunks of lump when I noticed that my starting, the coals that I already had lit, the temperature on that started to drop. So I added a couple of more pieces of lump, which was really easy on the PK since it's got that hinged grate. So on the right side, I just dropped the pieces right in there. And then, like I said, within about 20 minutes, it came up to temperature up to 250. I know that the temperature is going to drop once I open the lid and add a big hunk of cold meat like this pork butt. But I expect it to come right back up to temperature pretty easily. Fireboard says it's already up to approaching 230 at the grate level. So we're in pretty good shape. So we're gonna let this go, let it start to take on that hickory and cherry smoke. I'll be monitoring the temperature inside of the cooker to determine if I need to add more fuel. And I'm gonna settle in. It's gonna be a nice long cook, but I think it's gonna be good. All right, guys, so it's been about an hour and a half, and my internal temperature has finally dropped below 210. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some fuel and kind of see how things look here. So pork butt is coming along nicely, and basically what I'm looking for the pork butt is for the bark to set. So I'm expecting that to probably take another probably 3.5, 4 hours before it sets. But this will give me an opportunity to take a peek at it. I'm gonna throw a few more pieces of lump charcoal in there and get this closed up. But I think everything's coming along pretty nicely. All right, guys, we're about 5 hours into the cook. It is nighttime. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I wanted to come and check on the progress. So I just added some more wood and charcoal to my fire here. That's why you're seeing a lot of smoke. And I wanted to also see the progress of the pork butt. I can visually tell that the bark has not yet set. My average temperature inside the chamber has been about 225 degrees. So this is definitely low and slow. So it's probably going to need at least another hour before the bark has formed. So I'm going to let this keep going. I'll check on it again in about 1 hour and make a decision whether or not it's time to wrap. But the butt looks nice. I should also mention at about 4 hours, I turned the butt over, this way, or so that, both sides can hopefully cook somewhat evenly. To get this side a little bit closer to the fuel. So I rotated it is the word that I'm looking for. I rotated it about 1 hour ago. Okay, barbecue family, it is 1:30 in the morning. This cook has been going on for 7.5 hours. I just checked the bark and it has set, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this pork butt wrapped. So, barbecue tip, I'll say it again. I mean, unless you plan to be cooking all night like I have here, start early. The earlier the better, because things always happen that makes things take a lot longer than you anticipated. So there it is. It's looking nice. I love that color. Hope that's coming out here in the night with the night light that I've got going. So basically, I've put together a little apple juice, brown sugar, a little bit of hot sauce. So we're gonna put this liquid in with the wrap. Also got some butter. We're just gonna put that up on top. Oh my goodness, it smells really good, guys. Basically, what I'm looking for is I just want my probe, on my instant read thermometer, to slide in there like butter. And hopefully, when that happens, the internal temperature on the meat, on the pork butt, will be over 195. Hopefully, in that 200-degree range. When it gets to that point and it goes in there like butter, should be ready to come off. Okay, barbecue family, so it is almost 5 a.m. I am exhausted. Basically, it took 11 hours for this pork butt to get up over 200 degrees. When I pulled it, it was at 204. So next, I'm gonna let it rest. Normally, I would just let it rest for about an hour and then I would start to actually shred it. But I need to get at least a few hours of sleep. So I'm actually going to put it in my Cambro and, let it rest there for a few hours. Give that pork butt a chance to settle down, those juices just settle back in. I think it'll really be outstanding. It smelled great when I pulled it off of the PK 360. All right, guys, it's several hours later. I pulled the pork butt out of the Cambro and, it's still warm. So let's see what we got. Okay, this is a boneless pork butt. So I wish I could give you guys that classic shot of the bone sliding out, but I can tell you, if there was a bone, it would do exactly that. Let's get a good look at that. Look at that. Look at all that juice. Still smells great. All right, so right on cue, The wife, Janine, smelled it, came running downstairs to try it out. She's already got some on her plate. I think this is some, well, this is straight out of the tin.
Well, yeah, because I want to try it with this au jus sauce. I looked at yours, but I'm like, I'm making my own, and I like the sauce. So I want it to be in the juice that came from all that, because I think that's what I want to try. Oh my god. Oh, there's more of that. And the sauce. It's really, really good. Oh my god.
All right, so you like it with the sauce, with the au jus.
Yeah, I really do. It's like sweet and doesn't have spice, but it's got a good amount of seasoning, and it makes the meat just sing. So for me, this works. I really like it. I mean, I'll try it with barbecue sauce, but I think this is enough. This is really good. I could see a piece of bread with this kind of sopping it up. That's my plan when you turn off the camera.
Okay. All right, guys, so there you have it. Looks like it's another winner. Personally, I don't know. I think it needs some barbecue sauce. Janine is shaking her head. No, it doesn't.
Nope.
But nonetheless, you know, I think it is a winner. I mean, you really can't go wrong anytime you use Killer Hog's The Barbecue Rub on just about anything. I tried it a little bit differently this time. I usually do an injection that has some soy sauce in it. I think it adds some saltiness to the, you know, internally to the meat. This time I used Butcher Barbecue's pork injection, which I think gives it just a traditional pork flavor. I think the main thing to me that it added was moisture.
Yeah,
you know, keeps it from being dry. Janine thinks that it adds some sweetness as well. So I think I'm gonna like mine with barbecue sauce. It looks like Janine likes it
Piled high.
piled high, as she said. I hope I got that on film, as she's putting all of the au jus on her plate. So I don't know if there's going to be any left. So she seems to really, really like it. So I guess I'm going to have to keep this combination in my repertoire as well. So again, happy Easter, you guys. Be safe. Take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for joining us on the Backyard Smokemaster Barbecue channel.
So good. Oh my god, where's my bread? I made a mess. That's okay.
All right, well, calm down. There's plenty there. It's not going anywhere.
You don't have to film me eating what I want. Being a pig.
All right, the wife is happy. Happy wife, happy life.